What is going on, y'all? Robert Sykes, KetoSavage.com, and today I've got another AMA video for you. This one is brought to us by Aaron, and it's all about vascularity. So before I dive into this, let's roll the intro. All right, and we're back. Aaron asks, how does a lean person beat looking so vascular? My wife is keto carnivore and keeps her carbs low. She is hydrated, but after 2 years eating this way, she is looking more and more vascular, which isn't ideal. Is the only option to increase body fat if she wants to stay low-carb keto? Great question, Aaron. First of all, is it your wife that doesn't like looking vascular, or do you not like your wife looking vascular? That's a good question. So it's kind of cool that she is as vascular as she is, because that is something that all the guys want to emulate. I mean, generally speaking, the guys want to have more bicep veins showing. They want to have more vascular in their forearms. They want to look jacked. And I'm sure your wife isn't looking like swole Arnold Schwarzenegger jacked. She's probably just super lean and has more vascularity. So a couple different factors here. As you lose body fat, which it sounds like she has by being keto carnivore for the past 2 years, the layer of fat that is in between your muscle tissue and your skin becomes thinner and thinner and thinner. That showcases more of that vascularity. When I'm competing, that's what I'm trying to bring to the stage. Like, I want to look as vascular as possible. And you can manipulate the level of vascularity based off of some hydration tweaks and some electrolyte tweaks. But once you are really lean, you're just going to have more vascularity. If she was to drastically increase her sodium before her body had time to reach an equilibrium, she may hold some excess fluid retention, and that could spill over into her subcutaneous layer of skin between her muscle and her skin. That would cause some of that vascularity to disappear. However, that's a very temporary and acute adjustment, so that wouldn't be like a lasting effect. If she increased sodium slightly, that could have a positive effect in the sense that it creates more vascularity. In the context of bodybuilding, that would be a positive effect, because it basically draws some of that subcutaneous layer of skin into the muscle tissue, which increases that thinness of the skin and showcases that vascularity. So you don't really want to look towards water or electrolytes to create less vascularity, because that's only going to be a temporary fix. Your body, in about 24 to 48 hours, is able to reestablish an equilibrium point as long as you're consuming a healthy intake of sodium, potassium, and fluids. It's going to reestablish that equilibrium intake, and it's going to bring back its normal level of vascularity. So if you don't want her to look more vascularity, and you're not trying to manipulate water and electrolytes, because those are just fleeting fixes, then the only other option would be really to increase body fat. So I don't know how lean your wife is. You want to make sure that she's at a healthy level of body fat. Like, you don't want her to be super, super lean, like stage ready lean, because that isn't sustainable. A lot of people don't eat enough food. I'm not really sure what her intake is, but if she is looking incredibly lean and vascular, and she doesn't want to look like that, then it probably would bode well for her to actually put on a little bit of body fat. I'm not sure what her overall physique is looking like, but if you start to have vascularity all over, you probably don't have super vascular arms and legs and then a big, beer belly. You probably have pretty good physique all over, all throughout. So she may just need to put on a little bit more body fat. Now, that said, if she is resistance training and eating more in a surplus, a slight surplus, when you put on body fat and you're resistance training, you're doing everything right, your metabolism's good, your hormones are good, you don't typically have a whole bunch of body fat and accumulate in any one spot. So I wouldn't want to look really lean on all my extremities, but then have a really big belly, because that's all that fat accumulation happening in one finite spot. You don't want that. You want a healthy level of body fat to cover your entire body pretty consistently throughout. Like, you don't want to have a whole bunch of accumulation in any one spot. So if she's resistance training, if she's living a pretty active lifestyle, she's eating a healthy amount of food, enough so to have a healthy amount of body fat, she's probably going to have an evenly distributed layer of body fat over her entire body, arms, legs, back, midsection, everywhere. And that's going to look pretty good. I mean, I'm in an off season right now. I've got a higher body fat right now than I do when I'm in a competition prep. but I don't have any one spot on my body that has more fat accumulation than others. I mean, a little bit more tends to reside in the midsection, lower back, upper legs. That's just kind of like an evolutionary adaptation to be protective against, like for your organs and everything. But all in all, I've got a pretty evenly distributed layer of fat over my entire body. That's a good thing. That's what you want. You're not trying to be show level conditioning at all times. So I would probably recommend, again, I don't know her stats, I don't know what her body fat is, but if she's too vascular, she's probably not eating enough food and would probably benefit from increasing overall calories from both dietary protein and dietary fat, and just putting on a little bit of extra body fat. Not so much so that, it becomes sloppy, but enough so that she's got a healthy layer of body fat that's going to help from a hormonal standpoint. It's going to help from a metabolism standpoint. You don't want to be incredibly low body fat at all times. So you could test her and have her do like a DEXA scan, an in-body caliper test to see what her level of body fat is. And if it's too low, then just have her increase that a little bit. Eat a little bit more food, and just put on a healthy layer of body fat. That's my response there. Hopefully that answered some questions. I don't have any idea, like I said, what her stats are, so I can't give you more definitive news. But if she's having way increased vascularity all over, she's probably really lean and could benefit from probably eating a little bit more. So that said, you requested a chocolate malt brick, so we're going to send you some chocolate malt bricks. For anybody that does not know how this works, if you submit a question to the AMA via that form in the description of this video, and I use your question to make a video, I will send you some free keto bricks with the flavor of your choosing. So I appreciate the question, Aaron. I appreciate all y'all for tuning in, and talk to y'all next time. Take care.